10 years ago, my mom married a sidekick. He has a lot of answers, and I have a lot of questions. Here's what we talk about. Well, the picture button
timing should be there. Timing's going.
The picture button just takes a picture. Okay.
I can't believe you're wearing a hat.
Okay, I had to have a bad hair day.
I was sure wear a hat because I was cold.
I have a bad hair day.
You have bad hair days?
I do have bad hair days.
Your hair is like has a life of its own.
Believe it or not.
I can't understand how it could possibly have a bad hair day.
It has a mostly bad hair days.
Maybe it's like your hair has a life and a mind of its own, so sometimes it's just not in the mood.
It's not in the mood most days.
Really?
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
It's a lot of hair, but it's got power.
It does. But
Did you know that there's I think it's also in the Rastafarian tradition, also in the Native American tradition, about not cutting your hair. Don't get distracted by the cat.
Look at her arm hanging. She's like chill.
Yeah, she's sleeping.
Okay.
In the Rastafarian tradition, also in the Native American tradition, I'm pretty sure it was about growing your hair was, at least in the Rasta tradition, and if you're Rasta out there, please enlighten me, but a Rasta friend of mine had told me so that when it's time, God can pull you up by the hair and bring you up to the heavenly realm.
So they're going to be able to get me.
Yeah.
They're really going to be able to get me.
Maybe you've done a lot of stuff that we don't know about, so you grew your hair just to get into the other side.
Always like, take me.
So in Native American tradition, also your hair was sort of like an extension. You grew your hair, it was about like an antenna. So your antenna for the spiritual energies, for the spirit guides, for the ancestors, for the universe. Your hair was like an extension of your aura. You understand about the aura?
Yeah.
Am I close to the topic of today? Because I don't know the topic.
No, not at all.
Oh well. Okay, so...
that was a good fun fact.
But do you know why? Then I also feel, you know, when people are going through something emotional, they'll want to cut their hair.
Yeah, I've had to stop myself.
Well, because the hair, in a sense, it is like what the Native American belief system was about how the hair is part of your aura, so it begins to hold stuff.
If you want to clear your aura,
you can cut your hair, or you can wash your hair.
Or you can just wash it.
Brush your hair. That's a novel idea. How about taking a bath?
I just do a new hairstyle. If I feel like cutting my hair, I'm like, I'm going to try a new hairstyle today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you want to ask me today?
Okay, today... So let's talk about... Oh wait, I didn't do the intro.
They know.
Yeah, you know who I am, who he is, what this is.
And how we do.
How we do. Okay, so... I'll just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Are Ouija boards real?
Are Ouija boards real? Yeah, I've seen them in Toys R Us. They're real.
Do they work? Do they actually do what they are supposed to do?
Yeah, they can. And I'll give you some...
I'm kind of afraid of them. I've actually never used one. I know a lot of people have. I've never even been in the presence of one. And they actually freak me out.
What would you do if you found a Ouija board in your house that you never bought? That you never bought?
And I was the only one who lived there?
Yeah.
I would be shook.
Right, but then you would have to do something about it because it's making you...
No, I wouldn't. They genuinely scare me. Like, I feel like if I do it, something's going to happen to me.
Okay, so I do believe they work. I don't recommend them, though.
Negative?
Yeah.
There's a really negative, there's a stigma around them.
So there's a term that a lot of mediums use. It's called low-level spirits. I don't like that term because it's kind of classist, okay? I'm not into classism.
You're a low class.
You're a low-level spirit as opposed to the high-level spirits. Everyone is a spirit, and what they're referring to is people who haven't made the transition to the other side because of fear.
Like a ghost.
Like what we were talking about in the other videos, that ghosts are simply those people who have been afraid to completely go to the other side. Right? They're not getting anything out of being here.
They're the ghosts that haunt your house.
Yes. Yeah. Some of them don't just haunt an empty space. There's not even any human beings around there.
They just haunt.
It's like lost. It's like being
some
lost.
Some people haunt forests.
You know, when you're depressed, you almost don't even care about your environment. You're just walking around. Some of them are like that. So anyway.
They could be in the forest just like...
Okay.
Forest could be haunted though, right?
Of course.
I went hiking in a forest.
And it was haunted. I know you've been hiking in a forest.
So there was ghosts around me when I was hiking.
Absolutely. And there's also what people will coast. Let's go back to this thing of low-level spirits.
Okay,
What they simply mean, what these mediums simply mean, is that they're not really there. They're not spirit guides. That's not their job. They're not there to enlighten you, to bring you to some higher state of consciousness. They're just kind of mischievous, but they're not. I don't like to say the word evil. So.
But they're mischievous.
Why don't we talk about what a Ouija board is? Because some people don't know.
Okay.
It's spelled Ouija.
Ouija.
Ouija. I don't know the origins of how it got that name.
Ouija.
And basically, it looks like a board game. It looks like a big rectangular square that has letters on it, A through Z, and numbers. And then there's this little.
I'm gonna Google it, but
you can
can Google it.
So there's this little circle with a glass. It looks like a little magnifying glass. Mm-hmm. And everybody puts their hand on this, and they go into a state of kind of letting it guide them. So it begins to move around the board. Everybody's hand is on it.
Does it actually move by itself?
Yeah, sometimes you feel, oh, the other person is doing it. Now here's what I believe. I believe that since we all have a little bit of psychic senses, that when you come together and put your energy on one thing, it starts to get charged up and actually does start to connect with the other dimensions. Now,
so what if you're the only one doing it?
People have done it.
And they feel it move.
Yeah,
it's
people
not
have
their
done
hand.
it.
They're not like acting.
Right. People have done it out there.
And
then it spells something out. It gives you a yes or a no answer, but they're not spirit guides. They don't usually work that way. Are there exceptions? Yes, there's one very famous exception. I don't even know if some people have heard of Abraham Hicks, the law of attraction. So the woman who is the trance channel, her name is Esther Hicks. She's written New York Times bestseller books. She channels a spirit guide named Abraham. And Abraham has millions of people around the world who have benefited from the teachings of Abraham, the spirit guide that Esther Hicks channels. Now, how did that happen? Abraham came to her through a Ouija board. A lot of people don't know that.
I did not know that.
Abraham is no low-level spirit. Abraham is a master teacher who comes through and read those books. They're wonderful. So it has happened where they're not low-level spirits. And another trance channel, whose name I can't remember, also had their spirit guide, come through a Ouija board. Now why? Because the spirit guide is like, when are you ever going to listen to me? I can't get through to you. I send you signs. I move things around the house. I get other people to talk to you.
So Ouija boards aren't scary? Because I feel like I'm going to get possessed.
Yeah, I do. I don't recommend them though.
Can you get possessed from them?
No, you can't get possessed from a Ouija board.
People say you can.
The Ouija board is not possessing you.
No, but it can open.
It opens portals. Yes, it opens portals.
A ghost to come possess you.
Yes. I love how you have this underlying thread of your whole life where you don't want to get possessed.
Because I watched too many scary movies when I was little about that.
Okay, you're not going to get possessed.
Well, I'm not going to because I don't do anything to get possessed, but other people can get possessed.
Well, you should watch
I don't want possessed people around me either.
Doesn't it feel like some people are possessed though?
Oh, definitely.
Because guess what they say? Remember that statement? What possessed you to do that?
Oh, for sure, I could name some people right off the bat that are definitely possessed.
Let's not name them, but let's put their names down on this bottom part of the screen.
I'll link their Instagram. They're either possessed or there's definitely a couple ghosts on their back, on their shoulders.
Well, we talked about that. That was called entity attachment. We spoke about that in the other video.
I think a lot of people have entities.
Don't whisper, they can't hear you.
I said I think a lot of people have entities.
You think a lot of people have entities. They may very well, because there's not a lot of people out there who are doing strong spiritual practice.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are exposed to a lot of negativity, depression, sadness, and they don't know how to release it. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't.
They either party it away, they're at happy hour, or they're doing behavior that's high risk
or
behavior.
They're just aggressive. You're just
isolating.
Volatile. You're isolating.
You could be the opposite. You could be totally keeping to yourself.
Yeah, you could be totally to yourself, but very depressive or sad. Or
it's
whatever.
very important for you.
I feel because there's a lot of people like that who are maybe not all of them, but one of those things.
Yeah.
And so you can get something attached to you.
So how do you not get attached?
We did a video about that, I think.
Well, you have to keep your spiritual practice up. What makes you feel bright and happy and peaceful. All those things.
Right.
Things that are good for you, because there's also sorts of bad stuff, right? Drugs can give that to you for a few moments.
But they make you feel worse.
Long term, they destroy your life and your relationship with others.
And your physical body.
Mm-hmm. So now what the whole world is turning to is alternative methods of wellness.
Right.
Alternative methods of self-care. Sometimes getting a tarot reading by a good tarot reader can change the way you look at life.
Yeah. Well, I think too, a lot of people are still afraid of stuff like that. It's the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. People come around. But I have to say, I am slightly disappointed that everything that I want to talk about that is supposed to be scary
Isn't scary?
is not scary.
Okay, so you want me to tell you the scary parts of Ouija boards?
Yes.
All right. Well, you just opened up a portal for these kind of bored spirits that are hanging around that haven't crossed over. You just opened up a portal for them to start interacting with you. Now, some people say, well, how come I got answers that were true on the Ouija board?
Yeah.
Because let's say that I think it was my uncle. Let's just say you had an uncle or an aunt or a cousin who passed away, and then their name gets spelled out, and now you believe it's so-and-so from the other side. Let me tell you what the low-level spirits do. They are hanging around your house anyway. So they hear you on the phone, they see you having conversations, they see little things that you're doing, and so they'll bring that in. Because they heard you say...
And they pretend to be other people.
Yeah, they pretend to be other people.
So you think it's your aunt coming through.
And it's just this, it's just this
it's just
spirit.
a ghost that knows your aunt's name because they heard you on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Exactly.
Dang.
But either way, I think that it's very interesting that Ouija boards were at Toys R Us.
They were?
Yeah, I took a picture of it. I posted it on my Insta last year.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah. A Ouija board in Toys R Us. Now some people go, it's a conspiracy for this.
Can it bring ghosts around you that were not previously like in your home?
No, they have to be in some physical proximity, I think.
Look who's here!
Our dog, our new pup. You should show them.
I am. Come here, baby, come here.
So this is Sugar.
Baby Sugar. Baby Sugar.
How cute is she?
Hi, Nunu. Oh, the baby.
So what we're going to do is we'll talk about our spiritual connection to our pets and our animals.
Oh, the baby.
And how to communicate better with your pets. I can do that for the next episode. How about we do that?
How will I communicate to you? What do you want? What do you want?
She only wants one thing, either cuddles or two things, cuddles or food.
Where's your snack? What do you want? Go get your food.
So, come back.
I am. I'm done. I'm gonna go play with the puppies.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for tuning in today.
Wait, is that really it?
About Ouija boards?
Yeah.
Well, I told you, they'll just be hanging around you and you basically just invited them in.
You invited them in.
So my bottom line is, don't do Ouija boards. Find a good psychic who's reputable, a good medium who's reputable, and if you want to make a spiritual connection that way, or a shaman, somebody who is very experienced and peaceful.
Call Riz.
I'm happy to help you. You can always email me. Put my website here.
Dang, that's nice.
For free?
Is that what you said?
Well, I do teach stuff on my channel for free.
Oh, that's true. Well, this is free.
A private session is not free. Who does private sessions for free?
That's true. That's why I'm confused.
But the channel's free, so there's
this
information.
channel's free.
Yeah.
And there's so many other videos of Riz
out there
talking
in the world about these things. Well, thank you very much for having me today.
Oh yeah. Come back next time.
As opposed to all the other episodes.
Come back next time.
All right.
All right. Thanks for watching. Baby
Peace, everyone.
All right.